Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the preview. We've got a busy few days in store pre-World Cup. And yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of games. We've got 4 more left in the week and a half that we've got until we break off for the World Cup. We've got this game. We've got Millwall away, followed by Cardiff away, and then we finish with Reading at home next Saturday. It's a tough period for the players, and it's going to be, if there's fans doing all the games, then wow, I absolutely salute you all to no end. And in terms of news, today there isn't really much that's happened since the last game, because it's not been very long. I thought the little banner, the tifo that we put up in the North Stand pre-game, I thought that was absolutely excellent. The club described it as a flag, be it a banner, a tifo, a flag, whatever you want to call it. I think it's incredible. And of course, tomorrow night we will get Kanye West on the speakers and the lights flashing a bit brightly. And of course, today, the big highlight of today, this is the big bit of news, and we'll touch more on this in team news in just a second. Ashley has just said it in chat there. 6-0 win for the under-21s. But that was not the big highlight. Goals came from, first of all, I'd like to say James Scott and Harvey Vale, the 2 big first team names, other than the one I'm about to mention, getting run-outs. Goals from James Scott, Jim Sims, Harry Wood, Harvey Vale, Ollie Green and Billy Chadwick gave the under-21s a 6-0 win over Burnley this afternoon. But this is the highlight. Josh Emmanuel back in the team. That is a big, big, big step. That's massive. I think that is a big, big thing in his road to potentially getting back. That's given me massive encouragement. I spoke to Josh the other day after the game, and in short, I needed to get him to sign his card. Just give me a second and I'll find it. Where is it? There it is. Just there. So, I said to him, "Oh, Josh, how are you?" Had a chat with him. I says, "How are you doing?" "All right." He goes, "Yeah, good, mate." And then he complimented my Photoshop skills. He says, "How have you got me in that kit? I haven't been in that kit yet." I said, "Well, you have today, mate. You have today." And then another group of people says, "Oh, we need you back, mate." I think they are, yeah. And he said, "Look, I think he was just trying to move it along, try and get away, because we haven't heard anything from him or the club so far since the incident happened almost a year ago now." Which to me is crazy to think that was a year ago that all that happened with him falling ill. Let me try and find out when it was. I'll show it to you. There is club statement, Josh Emmanuel, on the 20th of November, 2021. So, yeah, it's couple of weeks short of a year. We still don't know what happened, Will. And I don't think we'll ever find out. But it's good to see that Josh is doing well and that he's back playing. He's been in light training for quite some time. I went to the training ground back in March and saw him doing light drills. Someone else on Twitter went a couple of weeks ago, found him and Salah doing little one-to-one drills together. So it's been a long road back for Josh, and yeah, I'm really pleased for him that he's been able to get back out on that pitch and playing football. And on that note, team news: Callum Elder. No, we won't go there because I've forgotten to take something out. Callum Elder is available for selection after a hamstring injury. Harvey Vale and Salah Radinu and Adam Hand have both returned to training following groin injuries. Andy Cannon, unregistered. Ben Tete, hamstring and unregistered. James Scott, unregistered. The list is getting shorter. Alayar Syed Manesh, hamstring. Adama Traore, hamstring / Achilles, plus unregistered. Vaughan Colville, knee, and Josh Emmanuel, illness and unregistered, remain out injured. However, you will see coming on the bottom of your screen now, Vale, Emmanuel, and Scott all featured for the under-21s in their 6-0 win over Burnley under-21s earlier today. So it's encouraging. It's encouraging to see Josh back, and hopefully this is just the start of a few more games for him in black and amber. Will, I am confident. You sent me a message. I am confident. Do I think Rossini will be confirmed this week? Yes, I do. Yes, I do think he will be, Lee. And evening, Leo. How are you? Right, let's get cracking through on to Ref Watch then. Where... Hang on. Everything is in a bit of a disastrous order now, which isn't great. But here we go. So the referee is Dean Whitestone, who is pretty dreadful. The two liners are Dan Leach and Greg Reed. The fourth official is Jeremy Simpson. So we've got one of the worst refs in the division for this game. The stats from the last game, possession, we had more just, that seems about right. But then you move to shots. We sort of did have that many attempts, but none on target is the big worry, of course. And then defensively, they were so solid. Look at that. I mean, but they're 18 tackles, 67, much better success with 23 clearances. They had it. Blackburn were on lockdown for that game. And as Will says, oh no, not that ref. Exactly. Blackburn ref was from Lancashire. Surely that isn't allowed. Well, apparently all referees, when they sign up, have to say what team they support so that they never referee those games. And surely if he was from Lancashire, it would mean that he'd be more inclined to not favour Blackburn because he'll support either Blackpool, Preston or Barnsley, all of which are also in Lancashire. So it's an interesting one. But hey ho, he wasn't great, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Head-to-head battles now then. Let's move on to looking through Middlesbrough's side. And in their last game, they lost 2-1 to Preston. And in Michael Carrick's first game, they shifted from a 4-3-3 through to a 4-4-2. It was still Zach Steffen in net, but their back four was Tommy Smith at right back, Dale Fry and Darrell Lennon, the two centre backs, with Ryan Giles. There he is in the midfielders at left back. Then the two wide players were Izzy Jones and Riley McGree in the centre of the park. they had, where is he? Hayden Hackney and Johnny House and the skipper. And then up top, they had Chuba Akpom, former Tiger, and Rodrigo Muniz coming from Fulham on loan. And of course, they've got Marcus Forss this year. Duncan Watmore injured for the Borough. So won't be fit for this game, I don't think. Glad Emmanuel's getting back. You won't agree, but I think Coyle is awful. I hope Rossini picks a new... I don't think Coyle is awful, but I always maintained, as much as I like Louis, I always thought Josh was a better option because he offers more going forward and isn't as tentative and I'm trying to think of the right word, cautious. That's it, in terms of taking a man on. I think Louis, it's just as much as I love him, I just don't think it's in his nature to immediately think, oh, right, I can beat a man even though he stood right in front of me. I think he just wants to be safe and not make a mistake. And which is fair enough, but I think we just need a different option to that. That's just what I think. And I think Josh offers that. In terms of going forward solid, defensively solid. I still think Cyrus Christie is our best right back, but in terms of longevity, Cyrus is in his 30s now, and Josh is 5 years his junior. So we'll see. We'll see. Do I think we should take Liam? I think as a fan base, we should be very happy. But I also think it's not an option now saying, should we take him? Because I think it's a done deal. I think it's all done. Can Josh play left back? Probably. But we've got Brandon Fleming. Fleming's fit, and I think he'll start tomorrow. I think, Elder, as we've said in team news, he's going to be back. So, yeah, time, we've got time. Flems came on and was excellent the other day. So I don't think we have a problem necessarily there. So, on to current form. Borough, their first game under Michael Carrick was a 2-1 defeat. However, moving through to their last 5 before that, it was a 2-0 defeat to Millwall and a 2-1 defeat to Blackburn, which pushed Chris Wilder over the edge, I do believe, and cost him his job. Oh, no, it was Perkovic in for that one. Was it the Millwall game his last then? No. When did Chrissy Wilder go? He went just after Shotter, didn't he? Was Cov his last game? Yeah, it was Cov. It was Cov that pushed him over the edge. So under Perkovic, it was a 2-0 defeat to Millwall, 2-1 defeat to Blackburn before a 4-1 win over Wigan and a 0-0 draw with Huddersfield. Was that still under Perkovic? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. And then, of course, then 2-1 defeat to Preston last time out, where Jordan Storey scored in the 91st minute to win it for Preston. Something you'll notice about Middlesbrough is they quite like an early goal. If you look at their 7th minute for Akpom, the Wigan game isn't the best example. Neither is that one, but they do typically across the course of the season, you'll see an early goal is something that I've been told by a Borough fan, a Borough teacher at my place. They quite like 23rd minute there for Akpom. 2 goals in 2 minutes there. And because it takes us some time to get into games, that could prove to be an issue. For us, the last 5, a 2-0 defeat to Huddersfield and a 2-0 defeat to Birmingham before 2 wins on the bounce against Blackpool and Rotherham away from home before we returned to the MK and lost 1-0 to Blackburn last time out. So, if we have a look at the league table, as Lee makes a good point, fans need to get the atmosphere going more. Been pretty flat last couple of home games. I agree. I do agree massively. Do you think barring Blackburn game, we could be starting a revival this season? Definitely. I think we play that way in the second half against any other team. I think we win. It's as simple as that. Last time we were at home to Middlesbrough, a certain player scored a great goal. Now, was that Malik Wilkes by any chance, Leo? Knowing your allegiances to Leeds and to the Wilkes family, was it Malik Wilkes? I believe it was. Anyway, league table. I'm going to move me down there so we can have a bit more of a broader look. So, Burnley, Blackburn, QPR, those three are doing really well, but it's really tight at the top. I think from first down to sixth, it's what, 5, 6, 6, 7 points. That's not very many. And then from sixth down to where we are in 18th, it's 8 points. So it's so tight. It's really, really tight. And then you look down, there's 14 points separate bottom and sixth. And Coventry making their way up now with games in hand. They could be a team to watch. But Borough, this is a game we need to win. We absolutely need to win this game. When you look at where we are here compared to where they are, they'll go above us if they win. We can't have that happening. Kieran, exactly right. We did need Pelkas to score that header, but it was really weird. It was really, really weird, that one, because I'm going to have to stand up for this. I'm going to have to stand up. But it was really weird because, hang on, let me untuck my shirt. It was weird because Pelkas, he just sort of like got down on two knees. So you won't be able to see me here, but stood up and then sort of just got down on two knees and thought, all right then. And then it didn't really lead to anything. So it's an odd one. It's a very, very, very odd one, that. I think there's better ways to head a ball than that. I love Demetrius, but come on. Technique, lad, come on. Getting Modern Warfare 2? No, sadly not, mate. Well, not sadly not. I don't want it. Second half against Blackburn looked like the only one where the players hadn't come back on half ball. Yeah, they looked up for it. It was good. It was really good. Hope Oscar starts tomorrow night. Did deserve to be dropped. Ridiculous having your top scorer on the bench. Initially, it was just resting him, but Andy Dawson, you can't change a winning team. But now we've lost, he has the opportunity now to make a couple of changes, perhaps. Where could we end up in the league if we win the rest of our games up to the World Cup? God, do you think I can do that maths? Absolutely not. Right then, let's move on to around the grounds. On Championship, Matchday 19. The games tomorrow, Luton versus Reading, Coventry versus Blackburn, Preston versus Swansea, us versus Middlesbrough, all kick off at 7:45. The 8 o'clock kickoffs are Bristol City versus Sheffield United and West Brom versus Blackpool. The 7:45 kickoffs on Wednesday, all of them are 7:45 kickoffs, in fact. Cardiff versus Watford, Birmingham versus Millwall, Wigan versus Stoke, Huddersfield versus Sunderland, Burnley versus Rotherham, and Norwich versus QPR. Let's move on to memorable match where we've gone back to the 5th of April 2017, this back to Premier League years where we won 4-2 against these guys at then the KCOM Stadium. Lazar Markovic would have to get us on level terms in the 13th minute after Alvaro Negredo, former Hull City target, scored in the 5th minute to open scoring. Umar Nias made it 2-1 about 15 minutes later. Then Abel Hernandez, 5 minutes after that, 6 minutes after that, would make it 3-1. Martin de Roon made it 3-2 just on the stroke of half-time before a Harry Maguire bullet header did the rest and sealed the deal in the 70th minute. Our team that day, wow, what a team. Eldin Jakupovic started in goal. The back four was Ahmed El Mohammadi, Andrea Ranocchia, Harry Maguire, the captain that day, and Andy Robertson. On the wings were Lazar Markovic and Kamil Grzycki. The two central midfielders were Alfred Ndai and Sam Klukas, with up top together Abel Hernandez and Umar Nias. The bench was David Marshall, the goalkeeper, David Myler, Sean Maloney, Adama Diamande, Michael Dawson, Marcus Henriksen, and Evandro, managed by Marco Silva. And former City assistant manager Steve Agnew was in the dugout for Borough that day after the dismissal of Aita Karanka, I believe it was. Last time out against these guys, it was an away day. It was a 1-0 win where we sat back, absorbed loads of pressure, and then Keane Lewis Potter had an effort that was appallingly dropped by Joe Lumley and went in. Poor bit of goalkeeping by Lumley there, but Lewis Potter, equally good finish. Our team that day was Matt Ingram in goal. The back three was Alfie Jones, Sean McLaughlin, and Jacob Greaves. Two wing-backs were Ryan Longman and Brandon Fleming, with the two centre-mids being Richie Smallwood and Regan Slater. And George Honeyman and Keane Lewis Potter started as the inside forwards, with Alayar Syed Manesh leading the line. The bench was Nathan Baxter, the goalkeeper, Callum Elder, Greg Doherty, Tyler Smith, Tom Huddleston, Deshaun Bernard, and Marcus Force, with Shota Arveladze in the Hull City dugout. Our record against these guys, well, we're our last three, which is good. Unbeaten in our last four against these guys. And we have, out of our last six, we have only lost once to them, and that was away in April 2019 at the Riverside, a 1-0 defeat there. We'll move on now to shared shirts. Before I quickly have a look at chat, Will reckons Tufan will score 2 tomorrow. Interesting one. But shared shirts today, I've gone for Gaston Ramirez. This was interesting, wasn't it? He was a player who just sort of faded away into the background after he left here, I thought. But he was on loan from us. He signed for us on deadline day summer 2014. On that mad deadline day where we got Hatem Ben Arfa, Mo Diame, Abel Hernandez, and Ramirez as well. In 22 appearances for us in his season on loan, he scored the once. The following season, he went on loan to Middlesbrough from Southampton, making 18 appearances and scoring 7 times. So on the back of that, Borough signed him permanently. And in 26 appearances for them, he scored 2 goals before he left in 2017. What I'll try to do in the second half of the season, I'll try to vary these shared shirts up a little, because I don't want to be using the same ones twice. It was just easier to have a load saved, and it'd be nice and easy. But I will, in future, I will broaden the spectrum a little bit for who we pick on shared shirts. But so I don't have to keep changing them every time we play. My one condition is that whoever I pick has to have left both clubs, so I don't have to do more work. All right then. Predicted team then. I think Andy Dawson will stick with the 4-3-3, and in goal will remain Nathan Baxter. Right back side was Christie, 2 centre backs, Tobias Figueiredo and Jacob Greaves, the captain. At left back, Brandon Fleming, I think, will come in. In central midfield, Ryan Woods, Jean-Michel Seri, and Regan Slater will make up the midfield 3. And then on the right, Greg Doherty. On the left, Demetrius Pelkas. And up top, Oscar Estupinian, I think, will come back in. The bench, Matt Ingram, Louis Coyle, Alfie Jones, Ozan Tufan, Gökhan Sinek, Ryan Longman, and Sean McLaughlin. So I think there'll be 2 changes to the starting team, and the 2 players that drop out will drop straight down to the bench. Predicted score, I'm confident. I think a 2-1 win tomorrow. I think Oscar will be on the score sheet, and I also think a certain Regan Slater might bag another goal as well. Thank you very much for watching this preview, everybody. I know it's been a bit shorter, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I'm going to try and do similar things and introduce new things over the World Cup period as well, and not just have a month off. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and until tomorrow night for the Matchday vlog. It won't end up being Wednesday morning. I'll get it done tomorrow night. Yeah, until then, take care, and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.